feel like we have to give Maul some flowers here. I mean, it's no secret that his brother and his crew created the term pause, and then Maul took the torch and very bravely in 2025 was one of the only people that when you say something that has nothing to do with sexuality, he says, that's because you're gay. And then the torch was passed back to Dame and the crew. You earned, like, this is a legacy. This is a legacy of homophobia that I think is just incredible, that now they're taking your phrases and making them.
I'm homophobic?
You know, I don't think you're homophobic.
Okay.
Did you watch this Dame Dash and Charlemagne?
I watched it 3 times, Rory. It's the greatest show on earth right now.
Let me say Breakfast Club as well, because they were all there. This is probably the first interview I've watched twice in maybe 5 years.
Yeah, I don't watch anything other than like maybe a movie or a series. When you talk about interviews and things like that, I watch clips and things like that. But this Dame Breakfast Club interview was just another one to add, because I think every time he's done it, it's a classic. I don't think he's ever done a Breakfast Club interview. And
he has the greatest Breakfast Club discography of all time. When he put out the first one, it was like, how could he ever top that?
Yeah. No, this one.
We didn't know what we had coming.
So what exactly happened for the people that haven't watched it? Because I only seen a clip, and the clip I saw was Charlemagne saying, raise your hand if you think Dame is broke. And I was screaming. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on in this interview? But I didn't watch the whole thing.
Well, that was after an hour and a half of things being off the rails. And anytime Charlemagne said anything, Dame would say, well, that's because you're gay. So then Charlemagne at some point started to get, not frustrated. He played into it well and was like, raise your hand if you think Dame is broke. And then Dame said, raise your hand if you think Charlemagne is gay. This was one of the correct.
Oh, I thought you was telling the room.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Oh,
okay. Before we get into this, I would say I apologize for some of my Charlemagne hate of the complex list. Yeah. This could put you at number 1 after this fucking interview. This is the greatest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because to even like before, when Envy and Charlemagne, trying to talk or argue with Dame is one of the hardest things on earth. So the way they handled it, of like really playing into it, made it one of the greatest interviews I've ever seen in my entire life. But where do we even begin? Nothing was covered. I just want to make that clear. We got no answers on anything. No real questions were asked. Dame became a chairman in the middle of calling somebody that has been on Revolt gay. Everything was insane. He was standing up. I was like, how is the mic even still picking him up? He's running laps around the table. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It was cool because Dame, he went up there. Well, he had announcements. We don't know how true those announcements are, but he had announcements, and he wanted to use that as an opportunity for, Charlemagne or Envy to say things that they may have said about Dame when he wasn't there. Like, okay, let's talk about it now. And Dame, he started it with, I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to yell. So like, you're not going to trigger me, like, but just don't cut me off. Let me answer so that you can understand what I'm saying. So he went up there with the right energy. He went up there with the energy to kind of like answer any, things that they may have been saying about him, saying he's broke and, whatever, they may have been saying. It's like, okay. So Dame was trying to explain, like, if I've been paying $250,000 a year in child support for the last however many years, is that person broke? Like, these are the things that so then he went up there trying to teach them and say, y'all don't know because y'all are stuck in this box, in this coffin every day. So y'all don't know what's really going on. Y'all don't know business. So it started as trying to shed light on some of the things that they may have been hearing about Dame in so many ways. I think that you and I both know some of the things that Dame is doing legally, to where it's like, okay, we get it. We understand. So
he was giving away a little too much on that down to the family office. I was like, hey.
So, it's like, we understand, but I think he went up there just to have a but then in Dame fashion, it has to be entertaining. It has to be, him, talking shit about somebody in the room, like snapping on him. That's Dame. That's who he is. And it made for another classic Dame Dash Breakfast Club interview. Now, some of the things he was saying, his announcements with the chairman thing and all, at Revolt, then I guess the president of Revolt, somebody came out and said that wasn't true. we don't know if he's saying it's not true, meaning it's not happening or it hasn't happened yet. Maybe there are talks of it happening. But as of, I guess still today, I don't think that they've come out and released a statement saying that he is the chairman.
So again, because so much dancing and manipulation was happening throughout the entire interview, he briefly said, which I don't know how to fully interpret, he was saying that he has a certain amount of time to buy it, I guess. Like he was the chairman, but there's only a window where he has to make a choice of whether he's acquiring this or not.
Yeah.
So I guess officially he wouldn't be, but it was offered. Mm-hmm. So if he wants to be, he could be. I'm not going to sit here and try to explain it because I didn't fully understand.
Yeah.
But when they came out and said that was all false, I was like, I went back to that part. And that's where I think he was explaining, like, he has a window, and if he wants to take it, he can take it. If he doesn't, then he's going to move on. Mm-hmm. And I think he may have just taken, like when your house is in escrow.
Okay.
I think he may have took an escrow role at Revolt as the chairman, not officially, just so he could get back at Cam publicly. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he will be taking that Revolt chairman job. Mm-hmm. I think that was all just a play to be able to go to Breakfast Club and say, Cam, I'm your boss now.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to have way more smoke for Envy outside of the first one. Envy was the one on Instagram last week in front of all his cars. Like, this is what not being a boss gets you. Mm-hmm. After Dame had filed Chapter 11. I thought he was going to come with Envy smoke. I didn't know he was going to be calling Charlamagne gay for 2 hours.
Did he file Chapter 11 or Chapter 7?
Chapter 7, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But...
Classic, though.
How do you argue with somebody when... Because even towards the end, Charlamagne tried to get it back on at least subject. Mm-hmm. How do you argue with someone and when you ask a valid question, the only response they have at that point is, it's because you're gay. The funniest shit was when in the beginning they were cutting Dame off, but then they stopped and then Dame would ask them a question and they try to answer, like, stop cutting me off. It's like, you just asked me a question. I'm answering your question.
Bro.
That shit is a classic, though. That's a classic Breakfast Club. 1,000, like, it's the first, I saw a clip first and I said, oh no, I gotta watch. Like, I can't just watch clips. I have to watch it because I knew just that energy that Dame had in that clip that I was watching and him calling Charlamagne gay. I was just like, oh yeah, this is another classic about to happen.
And this is why you just can't argue with anybody from Uptown because they have this strategy, and you do it too, where you get other people involved in the room that want nothing to do with it. And then they sit there awkwardly. Like when he was arguing with Charlamagne, he went over to Jess. Jess hadn't said a fucking word yet.
I
He's
ain't
arguing with
Jess was
Charlamagne. And I forgot exactly what it was, so I'll use an example. Jess, is he gay? Yes or no? Is he gay? And Jess is like, dudes from Uptown, that's how they argue in rooms. They just bring in other people and be like, yo, yes or no? Like, dude, I'm not in this. I have no...
But, all right, but
don't try to use me to prove your point. And then when you do that, they're like, see? He thinks the same thing.
I mean, well, Envy said he thought Charlamagne was gay too, though. He just said, I think he's kind of gay too. So
but
it's
I think Envy was being like funny. Like, that's his co-host.
Yeah.
Like, that's like if Rory said that about one of us. Like,
well, I mean, you are.
And you are too, nigga. Now what?
You can't steal
Yes.
James'
he's not
bit.
gay. Rory's not
You
gay.
sound like you want me to convince you that he's not gay.
Rory's not-
You sound like you want me to convince him.
No, it's
you
not
want me
that.
to
It's
convince
just
you
that
he's not gay?
you can't do that because you're actually gay. Like that's on record.
What? So
it's not
gay,
on record.
no gay. Like,
Are you trying to recruit me? Like, I don't...
Rory's not on record doing gay shit. Like, don't do that. Don't even start that.
so
I'm not on record or off record.
I was about to say, so because he off
Not a
record.
single record.
I'm
of
just
it.
saying-
Well, no,
yes.
according to y'all, because at one time I did get a lot of pussy, and I must have been gay at that time.
No.
You wasn't getting the type of pussy that's why you was trying to defend it. And I wanted to say in my head, Rory, you wasn't getting that type of pussy that we talking about.
Yeah, like you wasn't like in a. See, we were saying like when you're in a healthy relationship and you just can't stop.
Oh no, we got off
cheating.
the relationship part. Then we were just going into just getting mad pussy. Like if you just fuck a lot and like run through girls, you're gay.
We did not say that. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we left it. We was talking about in a
just
healthy
relationship.
relationship. You just
Cool.
cheating on your girl, like
Yeah,
you're a
gotcha.
serial cheater.
No, I'm saying just like whole phase on tour,
No. That's not the same.
different city.
Like we're saying, you have a queen.
Just
at home.
save her as Tennessee.
We've all been there. Love Miss Tennessee. Love her. Miss, I wonder how she's doing in life. But yeah, this Breakfast Club interview though was definitely Definitely one for the red. But Dame has, people say what they want. Dame has the ability to like sit on a platform and like, you know, I guess go viral whenever he wants. He has that. Like he's that type of personality. He's you know, he says whatever the fuck he wants to say. He's not apologetic about what he wants to say. And then he says shit like, I'm the chairman of Revolt, and people are just like, but Revolt says you're not.
And then he calls them liars.
Yeah. Like,
then
so
he
like,
reposted on his Instagram and says, this is a lie.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, anybody that has the ability to do that, you know, then people are gonna watch it. People love that type of shit where it's just like, yo, this dude is crazy. But Dame is not crazy. Dame is actually
definitely
very
crazy.
intelligent. His methods and, you know, the way he goes about things are a little unconventional, but he's had success in being unconventional, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just think the fact that he was up there and, you know, it kind of got a little tension between him and Charlamagne is what kind of made that whole thing like, oh no, I gotta watch this.
But I mean, they both handled it very well because it could have went left, and I liked how both of them had that understanding. Because even when Dame was like, I could punch you in your face right now, you would do nothing. I would never do that. But you're feminine. Like, you're proud.
That's hilarious.
You were proud of running.
Yeah.
I'm proud of staying and getting my ass whooped.
Right.
You're gay.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, Dame.
Yeah, you didn't do the math? Like that's
Dame, no.
You gotta do the gay math. That's
Gay
you
math.
ran. Yeah, like you ran. I wouldn't. Yeah, you gay. Like
Mo, have you ever signed up for a phone plan and thought, wow, what a great price? And a few months later, it's like,
think.
surprise.
I think so. I think it's happened before.
The bill is higher and you have a bunch of spam calls, so it's even worse. With Boost Mobile, that doesn't happen. You pay $25 a month forever. Unlimited talk, text, data starting at $25 a month. No price hikes, no contract, forever.
Plus, Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network. Rory, they've invested billions building 5G towers across the country, so your calls don't drop. You get good service in most places in the country. Visit boostmobile.com or head to your local Boost store today and get unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month forever. 5G speeds not available in all areas. After 30 GB, customers may experience lower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.